For as long as I've been playing JoJo games, I've always worked towards one stand in all of them, that stand being Made in Heaven. Once I started watching, reading, and interacting with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I always had the question of what is your favorite stand? Only watching the anime at the time, I said it was a tie between the Golden Experience Requiem or Metallica. I mean, at the time, that was a pretty good answer. It wasn't a hard question after all, right? Well, I soon found out that question became the very reason why I spent hours in Roblox JoJo games. After answering that very same question a bunch of times, I began curious of what stands I didn't know about yet. So that's when I began reading JoJo Part 7.
目指したものは全ての人々をそこへ導ける。私の能力は完成したようだ。人は天国へ行かなくてはならない。
After discovering Made in Heaven, I instantly fell in love. Not only it has the ability to manipulate the speed of time, it also comes with a very unique backstory. Pucci is definitely one of the most unique characters in all of JoJo, and his stand, Made in Heaven, is no exception. Among all of the stands in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I believe Made in Heaven is up there in some of the most unique stand abilities. For the people that didn't know, Made in Heaven has the ability to manipulate the speed of time. Now, without going much into detail, the stand can basically zoom around really fast. Now, moving away from the ability, the stand's design is what captured my attention to begin with. It's a flying horse with a very great color palette. Now, for some reason, putting all of this together just made me fall in love with the stand. I think partially it was because of how broken it was in a bizarre day, because I actually found out about Made in Heaven before I read about JoJo Part 7. So a bizarre day introduced me to Made in Heaven, and for the long-time subscribers, you would all know that Made in Heaven was really broken in a bizarre day. Now I can go on and on about why I love Made in Heaven, but I got to get to the point. The date is April 5th, 2021. 6 days before I went on the hunt for Shiny Tusk Act 4. Now, most of you know I am currently on the hunt for the rarest shiny stand in YBA. That shiny being Tusk Act 4. And for the people who didn't watch my Shiny Tusk video, I'm currently grinding for 3 pelvises for my 3 Tusk Act 3s. I am doing this so I can have 3 chances of evolving my Tusk Act 3 into a Shiny Tusk Act 4. You just have to watch the video to understand. Anyways, 6 days before all of this happened, I have been on a completely different hunt for months. I had been on the hunt for Made in Heaven, also known as my favorite stand in all of JoJo. I kept this on the low because I didn't feel like making this a huge deal, partially because I was working on obtaining different stands. And after months of grinding for Whitesnake in my free time, around April 5th is when I finally got Whitesnake. Obtaining Whitesnake was the first step in getting Made in Heaven. I knew this was my time to get Made in Heaven. After a quick Google search on how to actually get it, I ended up finally starting the hunt. After obtaining Whitesnake, I instantly went to the YBA wiki to look up how to get Made in Heaven. After reading over the wiki for a little bit, it turns out that you have to actually get Sea Moon first. I know, crazy, right? So I clicked over to the Sea Moon wiki and found out how to actually get this stand. I partially knew what I was doing, I just went to check anyways. With the help of my friend Spartan, we went over to Enrico Pucci and did his quest. Pucci tasked us with killing 10 vampires, 15 zombie henchmen, 20 corrupt police, 25 alpha thugs, and 30 thugs. Calling this a long quest will be an understatement. I believe me and Spartan took around 1 to 2 hours doing this quest. Vampire after vampire, thug after thug, they all ended up falling down due to my bloodlust. I mean, hey, I had to do it. Sorry man, I just have to get this green baby. And speaking of green baby, after 2 hours later, we finally got the green baby. Saying goodbye to my Whitesnake, I used the green baby and it fused with my Whitesnake, creating Sea Moon. And speaking of Sea Moon, look how cool Sea Moon looks. Dang, it looks so good in YBA. Do you all know that whole pajazz I said about 5 minutes ago? Well, substitute Made in Heaven for Sea Moon, and that's exactly how I feel about the stand. If a Bizarre Day never showed me how OP and broken Made in Heaven was, my favorite stand would be Sea Moon right now. So of course, I had to hold on to Sea Moon for a little bit. Just a little bit. And a little bit, meaning 2 weeks. Yup, I totally forgot to do the Made in Heaven quest until 2 weeks later, when I finally stopped being lazy and decided to actually do the quest. The Sea Moon did do me good though. I won like a couple of SVRs with it. So after obtaining Sea Moon, around 2 weeks later is when we finally get to the good stuff. The Made in Heaven grind. The last 2 months all led up to this Made in Heaven grind. Partially because I was too lazy to even do it. And the funny thing about this is I actually streamed it live on my channel. After I hit the go live button, I immediately started grinding for pelvis. Because if you didn't know, to obtain Made in Heaven, you need all 4 of the Saint's Corpse parts, a Dio bone from the Heaven Ascension Dio, and a disc from Jotaro Part 6. So yeah, that's kind of a lot. I did around 2 SBRs and actually got a pelvis on the second SBR. Oh my god. I got pelvis! Yeah, I was sort of excited. So immediately after that, I started doing the Heaven Ascension Dio quest. And luckily, with Heaven Ascension Dio and Jotaro Part 6, there's currently a glitch where they don't fight back at all. That's right, I unintentionally picked the perfect time to grind for Made in Heaven when the 2 bosses are glitched. The only problem is that the drops stay the same for the items. If you didn't know, both the drops for 2 of the bosses you need for Made in Heaven are actually crazy low. But the thing is, for some reason my luck is just crazy today, and I actually got Dio's bone on the second one. So in less than an hour, I got a pelvis and SBR on the second attempt, and a Dio bone on the boss on the second attempt. And this is when I went into the unusually long grind for the disc on Jotaro Part 6. Now, I'm not going to make this way too long because honestly, there's not much to talk about. All I can say is I took around 1 hour and a half just to get a stupid, dumb, idiot disc from Jotaro Part 6. The amount of times I killed Jotaro Part 6 is just incomprehensible. It took way too long, and my stream was going over 3 hours, so I knew I had to call it quits sometime. I decided I was gonna do one last boss until I ended the stream and go to bed. And guess what? On that very last boss, I actually got the disc. So with the Dio bone, the disc, and Sea Moon, I finally went up to the hill to obtain a Made in Heaven. This is so high up. Where'd I go from here? Where it's bugged?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's still in new servers.
Alright, I'm here.
Nice.
Nice.
And then just get out of your, remove your stand
And just
then
remove your
put it back
stand and
in.
get it out.
Alright.
Yeah.
Everyone record this moment. That is so cool.
Wait, what the background? Yep.
Let's go! Made in Heaven achieved!
Nice, man. Good job.
Made in Heaven obtained. Let's go. Let's go.